Krishna Krishna Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Sankirtan ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna. We are reading from first canto, chapter 19. Today we have to do verse number 2. Let me share. Can somebody confirm? Is my voice audible on Zoom?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay. We are doing chapter. Yesterday we started the chapter number 19. The appearance of Sukdev Goswami. So today we have to do verse number 2. Dhruvyam tato me krita deva helena.
We're on 2, you said?
Yes, 119.2. Durityam avasitam nate dirgahat.
Duratyayam vyasanam nati dirgat.
Tat astu kamam ayagha nishtkayame.
Tadastu kamam yaganishkritayame.
Yatana koryam punat evam adya.
Yatana puryam purnamevamada.
Dhruvyam tato me krita deva helenad.
Dhruvam tato me krita deva helanam.
Dhrutyam avayanam netya duragat.
Duratyayam vyasanam nati dirgat.
Tat astu kamam hay aga nishke me.
Tadastu kamam yaganishkritayame.
Yatana krotyam punar eva adya.
Yatana puryam purnamevamada.
Dhruvyam tato me krita deva hilned.
Dhruvam tato me krita deva helanam.
Dhrutyam sayam neta duragat.
Duratyayam vyasanam nati dirgat.
Tad astu kamam hay agya nishkrayam me.
Tadastu kamam yaganishkritayame.
Yato na kurmam punar eva adya.
Yatana puryam purnamevada.
Synonyms. Duranam, sure and certain. Tatha, therefore, me, my. Krita deva hirdayatat, because of the disobeying the orders of the Lord. Trutyam, very difficult. Varasyanam, calamity. Na, not. Ati, greatly. Duragat, far off. Tat, that. Astu, let it be. Kamam, desiring without reservation. He, certainly. Agha, sins. Nishkriya, for getting free. Me, my. Yatha, so that. Na, never. Kuryam, shall I do it? Punha, again. Evam, as I have done. Adha, directly. King Prikshit thought, due to my neglecting the injunctions of the Supreme Lord, I must certainly expect some difficulty to overcome me in near future. I now desire without reservation that the calamity come now, for in this way I may be free from the sinful action and not commit such an offense again. So, little context what is going on. This is the now when Parikshit Maharaj came back to his kingdom. Now he is regretting. He is not finding the way that let me do an Ekadashi fast, like to negate the Brahmana's offense and then how to get out of it or some other thing, right? He's saying he's surrendering to the Lord, right? Because if you see the glorification of Ekadashi, right, like so many things comes, right, like which can he's not finding an excuse or not finding a way to get out of his what he did, right? So he's saying, due to my neglecting the injunction of the Supreme Lord, I may certainly expect some difficulty to overcome me in the near future. So he knew that a reaction will come, right? I now desire without reservation that the calamity come now. For in this way, I may be free from all sinful action and not commit such an offense again. So he is more looking towards, like how Nanda Prabhu was also saying a day before, right? He is not trying to go away from his karma. He's saying, how can I learn from this situation and how can I improve? Right? Whatever reaction comes, I'm ready for that. Right? So let's read the purport and we can do more discussion. The Supreme Lord enjoins the Brahmana. The Supreme Lord enjoins that Brahmanas and cow must be given all protection. The Lord is himself very much inclined to do good to Brahmanas and cows. Go Brahmana hitayeche, right? Like that's it. Maharaj Parikshit knew all this, and thus he concluded that his insulting a powerful Brahmana was certainly to be punished by the law of the Lord, and he was expecting something very difficult in a very near future. He therefore desired the imminent calamity to fall on him and not on his family member. A man's personal misconduct affects all his family members. Therefore, Maharaj Parikshit desires the calamity to fall on him alone. By suffering personally, he would be restrained from future sins, and at the same time, Jai Jai Giriraj ki Jai, Nitai Navneet Chandra. Jai Srila Prabhupada. Therefore, Maharaj Parikshit desired the calamity to fall on him alone. By suffering personally, he would be restrained from the future sin. And at the same time, the sin which he has committed would be counteracted so that his descendants would not suffer. This is the way of responsible devotee think. This is way a responsible devotee thinks. The family member of a devotee also share the effects of devotee's service onto the Lord. Maharaj Prahlad saved his demon father by his personal devotional service. A devotee's son in the family is the greatest boon or blessing of the Lord. Right? So multiple things are there in this purport, right? So first part of the purport, if you see, like it is Srila Prabhupada writes about how dear cows and brahmanas are to Krishna, right? Go Brahmana Itayache, right? Like we chant this mantra, right? Namo Brahmana Devaya, Go Brahmana Itayache, Jagadishthaya, Krishnaya, Govindaya, Namo Namah. While we offering also, right? That Go Brahmana Hitayache. Go means cow. Brahmana means Brahmanas. Hitayache means like he is always in favor of the over of them. Hitayache. He's always thinking in favor. Like if you see so and so that everything related to Krishna, most of the things if you see, like they're all with the cow's name. Govardhan. Go means cow, right? Govardhan. Right? Gokul. Gokul Mahavan. Right? So many things, right? Like Gopeshwar. Right? His another name is Gopeshwar. Right? Every like Lord, like because Krishna is very affectionate towards the cow and Brahmanas. Right? It is written in the uh, Bhagavatham, and it comes right that and in the other Vedic literature that Krishna eats or Lord eats from the mouth of the Brahmanas, right? Basically, what it engenders is like Brahmanas are very dear to Krishna. Cows and Brahmanas are very dear to Krishna, right? Uh, and Parikshit Maharaj knew that, right? He offended a Brahmana, right, by putting a dead snake. That also should not have been done, right? But again, it was all like how we saw in the previous classes, right? It was all orchestration of the pastime which Lord wants to do because, and we see that, right? Like a Lord do it through his devotees only, right? To set up an example. Like if that would have not been done, we would not have been discussing the Srimad Bhagavatam, right? Or Srimad Bhagavatam would not have descended or spoken, right? So Maharaj Parikshit knew all this, and thus he conduct this concluded that his insulting a powerful Bhavana was certainly to be punished by the law of the Lord. Right? Like how Nanda Prabhu was saying day before yesterday, right? The karma. He knew that karma will take in effect, right? And he is ready to face that. Like, how can I learn from that situation, right? He knew that, like, instead of counteracting or instead of blaming, hey, I'm the king. He didn't offer me water or place to sit, so it was okay to do that, right? Though I'm God now cursed, that's fine. Let me find a way out. He's not doing that, right? He's saying I'm ready, right? What he is only praying is let that karma come now itself on me. It's on me itself instead of coming on my family, right? There are some karma which come instantly, some karma comes delayed, and then it so how like, and then Prabhupada also writes at the end, right? Like when because if you have a devotee son like Prahlad, right? Even your father like Hiranyakashipu will also be delivered, right? Who tormented the entire world. So like how pious activity also get the family members get benefits. Similarly, in pious activity also family members have to suffer. So here Parikshit Maharaj is praying that let that karma comes to me, like my karma comes to me instead of affecting my family. So basically, like he's taking responsibility for his doing, like he's taking responsibility. And then we further see that, right? Like when he come to know that he's been cursed, right? Instead of running away, like he sat on the bank of Ganges, and then he starts in, and then lot of sages gather there, and then Sukdev Goswami is appointed uh, like as among them, like to speak, right? uh, and that is the name of the chapter, right? We'll see nectarinely how Sukdev Goswami appeared, right? Right, on the spot, and then he is appointed as the point person, because king has some questions, right? To answer a king's question or Parikshit Maharaj question, and then that whole conversation started, right? So Shrimad Bhagavatam is all about question and answers, right? Multiple conversations are going on Shrimad Bhagavatam, right? First time when I read, especially in first canto, like lot of time uh, you are not able to make it out if you are only reading 4 or 5 verses. Like who is speaking to whom? uh, so multiple conversation, right? Like primarily conversation is happening between uh, Sukdev Goswami and Parikshit Maharaj, right? And in the same assembly, Suta Goswami is sitting, and then he goes back, and then we see like in Nani Sharanya, like a lot of sages assemble, right, to do the yajna, right? And they were doing it for so many years, so and so that their whole body was all black, like that's what it is description in Bhagavatam, right? With the fire of the with the carbon of that fire, like from that yajna. Yeah, yeah, backs of suit or something, right? Like it's they were all black, right? And then out of them, like one person was appointed, and he is asking question to Suta Goswami, right? So multiple conversation going on, and then we will see later on that conversation when between Vidura and Maitreya Muni, right? Like so multiple conversation coming in Bhagavatam. So again, question within the question, and in all those conversations the multiple questions are asked, right? So Bhagavatam is very so if you see like in the Vedic cosmology or like in our Vedic tradition, right, questions are always encouraged, right? So it is not like if you have a question or a doubt, right, please do ask a question or a doubt, right? Because it will not only help the person who is asking the question, it also help the audience also, or everyone. And that is our tradition. Even Bhagavad Gita is also kind of question and answer, right? Where Arjuna, when he gets bewildered, right, then he surrenders to the Lord, accept him as his spiritual master, and then he starts asking questions, and then Krishna is answering him, right? Uh, uh, so let's go to the next one. Any question on this verse?
No questions. I have just a quick.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so one. Oh, is that where it's recording today?
Yeah. Yes.
One thing is, one tip, if you're trying to figure out who's speaking, at least you know if Maharaj Parikshit is being described, it's not Shukdev Goswami speaking.
Mm-hmm.
Because Shukdev Goswami is speaking to Maharaj Parikshit,
Yes.
so he wouldn't be describing him. So at least that, but then there's still so many
Yeah.
players. But I was just thinking that, and I kind of want to see what the next verse is, but this, the idea that when a devotee takes a seemingly bad situation and turns it into something spiritual.
Mhm.
So you see that throughout the Bhagavatam, you see Narada Muni, when his mother got bit and died, he went on pilgrimage. When Vidura got insulted, he went on pilgrimage. When Maharaj Parikshit got cursed, he went on basically a type of pilgrimage where they go and that thing happens that you were saying, questions and answers. They always go and find, they typically go and find somebody to talk to and have questions and answers. So when I first read that, when I was very new, I remember thinking, wow, you could take any situation and turn it into a spiritual thing. It doesn't have to just be that you're suffering in the material, the ocean of material existence. You could just turn it into something spiritual, any situation that seems to be bad in this world. And I thought that was such an amazing thing. So just wanted to add that. So Maharaj Parikshit takes what seems like a horrible situation and turns it into the most amazing experience, actually, that, like you said, when someone else asks questions, we all get the benefit of hearing the answers, especially if we have doubts. So they raise these doubts that other people may have, but might be afraid to ask. And then it gets addressed. So that's all.
So just reflecting on Nandas Prabhu's point, right? Like that devotees, they turn reverse situations also into a positive one, right? Or like I do, like with that, like one point came in my mind, right? Like that story comes, right? King Katwanga, right? Like he helped uh, demigods, like in the fighting, right? And then like for several years, right? And then when demigod asked them, like asked a boon, so he said, tell me when I'm going to die, right? And they said, you are going to die in just few moments. And then what he did was, instead of repenting that I wasted my life, like he said, let me be Krishna consciousness for that moment. And then he left in that consciousness. Again, same reversal situation, right? But he converted there into that, right? Even we see, right, in case of Vitrasura, right? King Chitraketu, right? He was cursed. Uh, uh, he got dropped from such an elevated position, right? Like again, got to curse, become a demon, but he saw as a blessing of the Lord. And then later on, like in the next life itself, when Indra killed him, while he was getting killed, also, like where think about a person neck is getting cut for 1 year. His neck was so big, right? Indra was cutting it for 1 year, right? And he was in a deep pain, but he was thinking about the Lord only when he left the body, right? Again, same bad situation converted into good. So there's so many examples. Uh, uh, One recent example which I heard, and again in a little funny way also, right? Uh, there was once a king, right? And he had a minister, and minister always used to say, whatever happens, happens for the mercy of the Lord, because of the mercy of the Lord, right? Anything happens, right? If king gets sick, also he said, it is mercy of the Lord. King sometimes gets annoyed also, but he was very wise, so he always used to keep him with him. So one time, king was something happened, and then king cut his finger, right? And again, the minister was with him. He said, all happened because of the mercy of the Lord, right? And then king got very annoyed that my finger got cut, and you're saying it is mercy of the Lord. He put him in the jail or in the prison cell, right? And then other minister and other person was appointed as the minister, who was actually envious of that minister also, because he wants his post. So then king went into an expedition in the forest, a hunting expedition, right? While he was going there, like some of the dacoits caught him, and they said, this king has made us torture a lot, right? So let's sacrifice him, right? So they were about to sacrifice both new minister and the king. And then priest said, hold on, we want a full person. This king is not full person because his finger is missing, so release him, he is of no use, right? So then they kill the minister itself, because minister has everything, right? And then when king comes back, uh, he was very happy, and then he went to the prison cell, like and told his minister, you were right, right? Like my finger was cut, that's why I was saved, right? But he said, I am confused about one thing. uh, uh, I got saved. That makes sense, right? And it's Lord mercy. But why you went into prison? You didn't do anything bad. He said, if you have not put me in the prison, I would have been that minister whose head got cut, because I would be with you. So everything happened because of the Lord's mercy. So again, the thing is, like, devotees want to see positive, not like they see in even reversals also. Like, what can I learn from that situation, right? And it's all mercy of the Lord, right? Uh, let's go to the next verse. Let me read that. Adheva rajam balam radha kosham प्रतकोपिता ब्रह्म कुलेन मे ध्येता अभेदा पुनर्ना मे भूता पुपयता धर देवा देवा गोष्य. Synonyms: adheya, this day; eva, on the way; rajyam, kingdom; balam radha, strength of the riches; kosham, treasury; proksha, uh, prokopita, ignited by; brahmakula, by the Brahmana community; anala, fire; me duha, let it burn me; abhyanaya, inauspiciousness; puna, again; na, not; me, onto me; abhyat, may occur; purayasi, sinful; diha, intelligence; devya, brahmanas; deva, the supreme lord; gabhya, and the cows. Translation: I am uncivilized and sinful due to my neglect of Brahminical culture, God consciousness, and cow protection. Therefore, I wish that my kingdom, strength, and riches burn up immediately by the fire of the Brahmanas' wrath, so that in the future I may not be guided by such inauspicious attitudes. Right? So, Parikshit Maharaj himself is saying, like, he is repenting for his doing. Right? So, and he's also, like, if you see, the last line is very important, right? Uh, so that in the future I may not be guided by such inauspicious attitude, that I should not have done that, and he is repentant. He is not trying to find a way out, right? He's saying, like, let me try to learn a lesson, and then let me get the suffering or the punishment, so that I should not do it again, right? Progressive human civilization is based on Brahminical culture, God consciousness, and protection of cow. All economical development of the state by trade, commerce, agriculture, and industries must be fully utilized in relation to the above principle. Otherwise, all so-called economic development become a source of degradation. Cow protection means feeding the Brahminical culture, which leads towards God consciousness, and thus perfection of human civilization is achieved. The age of Kali aims at killing the higher principle of life. And although Maharaj Parikshit strongly resisted the domination of the personality of Kali within the world, the influence of age of Kali came at an uh, op- uh, 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 opportune moment, and even a strong king like Maharaj Parikshit was induced to disregard the Brahminical culture due to the slight provocation of hunger and thirst. Maharaj Parikshit lamented the accidental incident, and he desired that all the kingdom's strength and accumulation of wealth would be burned up for not being engaged in Brahminical culture. So here Prabhupada writes, because of the influence of Kali, even Maharaj Parikshit also got little bit bewildered, right? And because of that, he offended a Brahmana, right? And herein, what he is saying is, he lamented the accidental incident, right? It was an accident incident only, right? And he desired that all his kingdom, strength, and accumulation of wealth would be burned up for not being engaged in Brahminical culture, right? And Prabhupada, right? What is the Brahminical culture? The progressive human civilization is based on Brahminical culture. God consciousness, protection of the cow. Brahminical culture is the protection of the cow, right? Or the protection of the innocent, right? It's not exploitative mentality, right? It is Brahminical culture is about, like, taking care of weaks, and why we saying taking care of cows, because cow is an animal who needs protection, right? There she has hoofs, or he has bull has also hoofs on the head, but that is uh, little bit protection, but not fully, right? Like a cow is the one, is like a domestic animal, right? Like wherein it needs to be protected by the human civilization, right? Uh, whether wealth and strength are where wealth and strength are not engaged in the advancement of Brahminical culture, God consciousness. Okay, where wealth and strength are not engaged in the advancement of Brahminical culture, God consciousness, and cow protection, the state and the home are surely doomed by providence. If wealth and strength is not engaged in Brahminical culture or in propagating the God consciousness or Krishna consciousness or cow protection, so society or state will be doomed. Right? That is what we are seeing, right? Across us, right? Like across the world, right? So many wars are happening, right? So wealth and strength is used just to become more bigger or more famous, right? Or uh, like degradation of the society, right? Like animal slaughterhouse are opening more and more, right? Like so, it is reversal of the cow protection, which is happening in the society, and that's where we are seeing everywhere. Like there is so much dissatisfaction is there, dissatisfaction of the greed, right? Dissatisfaction of like even bad health, and so many bad things are happening in the society, right? Water is not pure, air is not pure. It's all like Srila Prabhupada used to say, earth has enough for everyone, but it doesn't have enough for the greedy person. Right? That is where like we see like we some like we come like lot of time we hear that like some countries they have grain, extra grains, instead of giving it to the other country who is suffering, they prefer to put the grains in the water or throw the grains in the water, because otherwise like their prices will decrease, right? To maintain the price, like they are ready to discard the good items, good food items, right? But not to share among the other countries or other people, right? What about the countries? Even in the within the country itself, like so much they do, right? That is what that black market is, right? They stock the grains or they stock the food stuff. They let it go bad, but they don't have it out in the market. So because otherwise price will decrease, because supply and demand. If more supply is there, demand will be less only, right? If supplies are more, right, like prices will be less, right? So if we want peace and prosperity in the world, we should take lessons from this verse. Every state and every home must in endeavor to advance the cause of the Brahminical culture for self purification, God consciousness, for self realization, and cow protection for getting sufficient milk and the best food to continue a perfect civilization, right? Uh, so it is said that there are so much nutrition in the milk, uh, uh, which your body needs, which comes from the cow. But now the thing is, if you want to get the maximum benefit out of it, so cow should be protected, and because uh, uh, and that milk should be ahimsa milk also, right? If you want the maximum benefit out of it, right? Like it is said that like and we do have ahimsa milk, like maybe not in Grand Rapids, but like we have Gita Nagari, right? And also in New Vrindavan, right? So what the ahimsa milk is, the cow who is giving the milk, it is not, that cow is never been sent to the slaughterhouse. Like the time she's giving the milk, like she's at that time also she's taken care of, and after that like she's also taken care of till the time she dies natural death, right? Because it is said that uh, cows, they know, right, what is happening in around them, right? If one cow, like if there are slaughterhouses, like the cow knows, and the milk she is producing, that consciousness is also coming in that milk, right? So it is very bad situation in the society, right? Uh, like wherein जय जय गिरिराज की जय निताय नम चंद्र भगवान की जय शीला प्रभुपाद. Uh, like in a funny way, like I remembered one story, like I was hearing in one lecture. Um, like it was from Amog Leela Prabhu. He was saying like goats, right? Like when they send goats for the uh, slaughterhouses, right? The goat which is in the back is thinking, uh, uh, all what she is doing is like they put a grass in front of it. She is just enjoying the grass. She knows like something is happening in the front, but she is saying it will not happen to me. She's just enjoying the goat, enjoying the grass. and just discussing, like doing like in its own terms, like chit and chat with the goat which is in front of him, right? So with the and again not sensing what the danger is. She's uh, but cows are not like the cow they sense like what is happening in around them, right? So that's why cows are very sensible animal. uh, I won't say animal, like they are like mother, like out of seven mothers, like cow is one of them, right? In the Vedic literature, right? There are seven mothers, like earth is one of them, and cow is also one of them, right? So, so we should, and we should protect cow because it is dear to Krishna, as well as like it gives us the very essential part of our diet, which is the milk, right? Which helps. Prabhupada says milk helps us to develop our brain tissues, and there's so many studies also, right, out there, right? How much helpful the cow milk is. When I came to US, I came to know about there is something called lactose intolerance, right? I didn't heard it in India, right? And then I did further research. Then I came to know there are two types of protein, like A1 and A2 protein, right? Apparently, the milk which is widely available in US is A1 protein, with the A1 protein, right? And A1 protein is difficult to digest. It has A1 as well as A2, some part of A2. It's not fully A1, right? And nowadays, like it is a lot of buzz is going on with A2 milk. Like in US also, we start getting that, right? So, like if, again, like in India, like it's all A2 milk only, like the cow with the hump, right? Like they produce A2 milk only, and now it is available here also. But the main idea is like milk is easy to digest. Again, it all depends upon, like now there are so many varieties of the milk itself, right? Easy to digest if it has the correct protein. And again, it's not about protein, it is about how you are taking care of the cow, how well you are protecting. If you are protecting the cow, uh, if you just see the cow as an instrument of making money, then it's not going to benefit you, the milk which come out of it. But if you do it as a part of the seva, right, and protect her in her younger age as well as in the older age, then you will see like a lot of benefit will come out of that when you drink that milk, uh, right? So it is very important to take care of the cow, right? uh, any other reflection on this verse? I want to discuss a little bit about Jayananda Prabhu. Like today is his disappearance day. uh, his grace, Praneshwar Gaurang Prabhu was also describing, right? So I just want to touch a little bit about him, talk about him for 5 minutes, right? So just summarizing what we discussed so far, and then we'll jump into that topic, and we'll take up the questions also. Before jumping into that, we discuss about Parikshit Maharaj, like in the two verses, right? Parikshit Maharaj is ready for, he is acknowledging he did a mistake, and he is ready to uh, suffer the karma for that, right? Or like how Nanda Prabhu described the day before, right? He wants to learn from that situation, not want to. He is not justifying why he did his action. He says like, let that action come on me right now, right? And I'm ready. I'm ready to give up my kingdom and all the wealth, right? Because I know I made mistake against a brahmana. Because brahmanas and cows are very dear to Krishna, right? These are the gist of the two verses like we did today, and then Nanda Prabhu also reflected, right? Uh, every like when devotee sees the reversals in a positive way, right? And we did several examples like uh, uh, like on that. Any question or comment on these two verses? Okay. If not, while you are thinking, let's discuss something about Jayananda Prabhu. Today's his disappearance day. I was hearing a lecture from my Guru Maharaj in the morning. Uh, so Jayananda Prabhu is one of the earliest devotee who joined Srila Prabhupada movement, like in San Francisco. He was Prabhupada was in his 60s and 70s, right? And he was also in his all other devotees. They are quite younger than him. Like he is the only one who is working at that time. And then he was so much dedicated to Srila Prabhupada that whatever he earns, he give everything to sustain the temple, to the temple, each and every penny. He doesn't keep even a single penny for himself. And he used to take care of all the maintenance work, and other services in the temple apart from doing the job. uh, right. And then so and so that he was dedicated to the temple. Like one time, like he like I said, he doesn't spend a single penny on himself, right? His all clothes he used to wear, like they were like rags, and there were so many holes in his jeans, right? So devotees requested him to get a new pair of pants, right? And he was resisting, there is no need, but they really insisted him, and they sent a devotee also with him, like make him buy a pant, right? And then what he did was they went to a thrifty store. Now think about, he's financing the temple, and he's not keeping a single penny for himself, right? uh, and then they went to a thrifty store, like to buy a cheap pant, right? And then they found one, and then he said to that devotee, Jayananda Prabhu, that uh, Prabhu, I don't feel like spending money on myself, right? Let's steal the pant. Why to spend that money, right? It's Krishna's money only, right? And then other devotee said, again, we are talking about, like, he was very elder than him. He said, yeah, let's go ahead, right? And then they put the pen, folded the pen, and they were just about to get out from the store, and then security guard caught him, and they were arrested, and then they were then the matter went into the court, and then the judge asked him, did you uh, do you feel guilty? He said, yes, I acknowledge that I stole the pants, right? But with such a humility, he said that judge asked him. Judge even asked like witnesses, and then that security guard also said, yes, I saw him stealing the pant, right? But then judge asked him, like, why did you stole the pant? He said, I am a Krishna devotee, and I support a temple, and then I don't feel like spending money on myself. I give all the money to the temple itself, and the temple, like, they are serving the community in around them. Then judge got so much moved by his pure surrender that he said, I will pay for that pant. Pant, and then basically he was released from there, right? Jayananda Prabhu, like you might have seen his picture, like on every Rath Yatra, right? Like his picture is there in front of the Jagannath's cart. Uh, First time I saw his picture, like I do remember, like in Novai Rath Yatra, like every Rath Yatra, like they put his picture, like Jayananda's Prabhu's picture, right? So, Praneshwar Gaurang Prabhu was saying, like Prabhupada said, like disappearance day of Jayananda Prabhu should be celebrated, right? Every year. So if you see, like, so much contribution he has done for the movement, right? Like uh, so devotees, like any devotee, any service you are doing, right? Krishna remembers your service, right? Maybe it feels like you are not getting anything, but actually you are the winner. Like if you do any devotion service, like if you see from the Ramayana also, right? Jatayu, right? Like Jatayu fought with Ravana to protect Sita. Though he was not victorious, he died, right? But his last rites was done by Lord Ram himself, and he sent him to Vaikuntha right away after that, to Ayodhya, spiritual Ayodhya, right? Passing away, right? So devotees are. Uh, uh, they're always like with their deeds and everything, they're always like, even like if you are doing a small mopping in the temple, or doing uh, pot washing, Lord remembers that, Krishna remembers that this devotee take out the time, and then he did my service, right? So we should not hesitate in doing the service, right? Actually, service is a privilege. It is not that nobody is there, that's why you are given that service. No, it's a privilege actually. And privilege can be taken any time, right? So we should be very, very grateful that we are given that privilege, right? Now temple opening is going to come, right? Like in each day, now it is not weeks, now we are counting days, right? Like June 25th, like is the temple opening, right? Less than 2 months are left, right? Today is already 29th, right? uh, so we need help of all the devotees, right? Like to invite the Lord, right? Like whenever there is a marriage ceremony, right? Like if so much work is done in the house, right? Everybody is engaged, like to invite the guests, right? Similarly, like we also have to make Krishna Community Center ready to invite the Lord as well as to invite the Lord's guest, right? Anybody who comes to Krishna Community Center, right, on those 4 days, right, either for the help or they are attending the program, right? Like we should see them as they are coming to, they are the guest of Radha Krishna, and Mahaprabhu. Right? Like we should see them and we should serve them accordingly. And we should also engage them. Like if they came for helping hand, right? We should, like I said, like this is the opportunity, right? Once in a lifetime opportunity, right? Temples are not open every other day, right? You rarely hear, like last temple I heard, which open was in Naperville. I think it is over 2 years back, right? So it is not easy and everybody knows by now, right? Like it's not easy to open a temple, right? So uh, let's take a advantage of this opportunity, rare opportunity to be part of. I'm pretty sure this is once in a lifetime opportunity for me. Like where temple is opening and we are all engaged in that service, right? So with that, any question or comments? Okay. If not, I will like to end here. Panchakalpatarubhasya kripa sindhu devacha patitanam pavane bhyo vaishnave bhyo namo namo anand koti vaishwarind ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.